We're live.
Okay.
We are live. Hi, everybody.
What? Hi.
What?
Hi.
What? Deer in headlights because I once again forgot to count them. No, I got the boxes wrong, so that's my fault.
I feel like this has happened recently.
Did this happen on Coriolis? No.
Yes, it did.
Did it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I don't know what's going on, so I'm just gonna sit here.
clearly we are really on our way to full-on cabin fever insanity. I hope all of you at home are taking care of yourself. I hope you are resting. I hope that if you are in quarantine for any reason, that you are finding it a place to make something, create something, catch up on something, do something that you've not done in a while. I myself am burning candles from all ends. Fuck it, I've thrown those candles into the fire. So, that's where I'm at. Nonetheless, I am excited to be here. It's been a crazy a week for me, and I'll talk about that kind of at the end of tonight, and where you can find me now during the days throughout the week. But I want to kind of hop right in. We're just going to quick go around, let everybody... We're going to check in. How's everybody doing? We doing okay? Your silence says... Your silence tells me otherwise. Well, we'll go around. Quickly tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight, and we're going to pop right in because we have a major time jump that's about to happen in our little storyline. So, you know what? We will... let's start with Kika tonight. Kika, tell us who you are and who you playing.
Hi, I'm Kika. I streamer again on Twitch because I stream now again.
Yeah!
Because it's the only way I can make money because I'm on medical leave. But yeah, I'm a Twitch streamer, game designer, do some I do a lot of things, wear a lot of hats. But you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Kika, whatever. I play Adis, the clan's seer, who is creepy.
Okay.
That's all you need to know.
Okay,
really.
it's true. I'm glad that you chose that word. And it wasn't me.
We all knew it. I knew that we all knew it, so
Sometimes you just gotta own it. Love it. Awesome. Kelly.
What?
What? Who are you? Today. Just today.
I was muted. Which,
I can
if
do your intro
see
for you
my,
if you want.
if you see my Twitter, that's actually going to be an emote available on my Twitch channel, is me looking surprised with the giant muted across my face.
Cute.
Because I do it a lot.
I have one of those, but I'm not muted, that's for sure.
Yeah. I am Kelly, I am the Opera Geek, and I play Gudrun, the clan's skald and resident talker out of in very difficult situations. And drinker of alcohol.
And consumer of all the mead. Yes, it's true. It is so true.
Why am I not drinking alcohol right now? I did my end of the world run.
You should have just had alcohol right here. Yeah, I know. I just got back from the grocery store and lathered in. It was my last run before really things began to take over. So, well, I am glad you're here, even though you came bustling in. You look fabulous. And I am excited to see how your Skald deals with what potentially could be another Skald's final song.
Oh no!
I know it could be an intense night for our own Skald. Moving right along to Eris.
Oh, hello. I too was muted. Hi, I'm Eris Savad. I make things. I also play a lot of RPGs. Today I'm playing Frigg. She is the tracker. She actually, it was revealed that she, might have been a prisoner of the Grim Ravens for a while and came back and brought with her news of their coming. She is now leading everybody through the mountains, well, aside from Gudrun. She's making sure that the way is clear. Oh my gosh, she is so excited to teach her sister new stuff.
Yeah. I'm interested, actually. We'll have to see. I mean, you're going to have traveled a lot tonight, so new things probably. And speaking of that sister, hi Shauna.
Hey, I'm Shauna, Flying Cirrus, and I play a lot of RPGs and do art. And I am playing Disa, the carpenter slash crafts person who is dealing with not being in a town as well as she can, and she is trying to survive being outside as best she can, probably with her sister's help, and hopefully not getting lost outside.
Not getting lost outside. Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't want that.
And last but definitely not least with those ears, Catherine, how are you?
I'm doing.
Yeah, I think everybody's doing today. I keep asking as if our answers are all going to be different. They're not.
Well, yeah, my name's Catherine Bursonistis. I run the nerdy food blog, The Gluttonous Geek, and I probably have I'm not bragging. I'm probably in the luckiest of situations at the moment out of everybody. But my goodness, it's been very hard to hear at the tough times everyone's been going through. So, my heart goes out to all of you. Tonight, I am playing Dagny, the Squirrel Zerker, and hopefully I'll get to have even more squirrely wrath this time. Because my squirrely wrath is the wrath I probably feel at a certain part of the world right now.
Wow. I don't know that I could have said that better myself. We're going to take our squirrely wrath and we're going to put it towards new purpose tonight. Telling a story. Something to brighten our, hopefully everybody's mood a little bit. Last week was really interesting. We saw kind of this, well, we got to see some combat. You guys dealt with a slew of literal grim ravens that came down out of the mountain, but it was a pretty successful prep, which was sped up quite a lot thanks to the words of your Jarl, who expected you to leave a little sooner than originally planned. You all worked diligently, hunting for meat, packing the things that you need, building a structural and new engineered kind of cart, making sure the meat is there, and we even saw a kind of personal scene between the Jarl and the clan's seer, Edis, before they all left. There was debate. Is it the God's Woods, or is it the pass through the mountains? And though the lurking question of what plagues the God's Woods still remains, the clan did choose to move forward through this mountain pass. It took about 24 to 48 hours for you to actually arrive at what is considered the first pass through the mountain, a small cave that Gudrun remembered. But what she did not, or was not there the last time that she passed through, was a man, a rather large man, known as the Giant, who has kind of holed up for the winter. Maybe not the most charismatic of fellows, but everybody played their hand correctly. And through the charm and interesting antics of our Skald, you were able to kind of talk your way past him, simply asking for passage through his mountain. You wished him no harm. But in this interaction, you learned a few things. That the opposite side of this mountain, and thus the valley that you have been holed up in, may not be as safe as you thought it was. More importantly, the nearest clan, one that has incredible resources, seems to be housing a very important Skald. One, I'm not going to remember her name, I'll have to get my book. A very important Skald. But she has seen things, she has done things, she is a warrior at its finest, but she unfortunately is not well. And she beckons to sing her final song. So the four of you pass through the mountain. It takes you 1 week. In darkness, no sunlight. Everything you own by the time you get out the other side is damp, with the slow melting of ice as the exterior of the mountain warms. After 7 days of constant travel, when you finally see it, that literal pigeonhole at the end of a long tunnel of sunlight, it greets you in a way that you might not have expected. One, you've not seen a lot of sun over the last 9 months, but it peers through the clouds, reminding you that new spring is still approaching. If you are doing your math right, At this point, the rest of your clan is packing up. They will be leaving soon to follow hot on your trails. And as you continue past the mountain, what you find on the other side is that the majority of the snow here has already started to melt. Diza, something green peers through a small, thin patch of snow. It's green and might be ready to bloom.
Ah. Everyone, hey, look. Oh, there's plants. That's the first one I've seen in a while.
Can we eat it?
I know.
It's like this big.
She'll look at
Let
it.
it grow some more.
So that means spring is coming soon then, right?
So it would seem. So we should probably keep moving. Unless you want to find more plants. I mean, I've been just looking at snow and ice for the past few days. Can you really
That idea of like, how do you even hunt a plant? And as you all look around, you see there is still snow on the ground, a thin layer kind of across everything. But it's beginning to melt, and like the ever-piercing bits of blades of grass and things as you work your way down the mountain. Maybe it was the darkness or the extended time inside, but what you realize is that you've actually come out the other side much higher in elevation than planned. And as you work your way down, you see the small patches of grass and greenery that's slowly finding life again. And Frigg, you notice on the way down, you're our tracker. Seems like you would be the one maybe to notice. And I would say if Gudrun came through here the last time, you would probably also be on lookout. You begin to notice stacks of rocks, and in very peculiar ways, tall by size, as if marking path.
Gudrun, what are these? You're muted. I cannot hear you.
Oh no, you're still muted. Though that face is...
What?
Oh no, now I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, now we can hear you. Oh, and there's a kitty.
Yeah. That might have been why I muted myself. I forget. Would Gudrun know what these were?
Interesting. You could make a lore roll,
Ooh.
which I feel like suits you.
I'm so good at lore.
This is just a difficult task. You only need to roll a 14 for this.
D20 plus 4. Because I've never had to use my actual skill. I have a shield.
And if it's your starred skill, remember you get to roll and
It's
take a
not.
higher number.
I
Oh,
have yet to
I knew
use
I thought it
anything.
was like getting close. What is your top skill? That's crazy.
My top skills is. I'm only supposed to have one, or am I supposed
It's
to have
just
two?
it's one that has the star, like the special
Yeah.
dot. Yeah.
It was influence.
Oh, well then you'll have plenty of time to influence people later.
Ooh, natural 20.
Oh, hot dog! And that moves a complication down. Well,
That
aren't
means
you
I won't
all
roll another
lucky?
one for 2 weeks.
Well, you're all very lucky. One, because if I remember right, last game, the fate of the gods bar filled right at the end. My plan was to make it a gift from the gods, which it still is going to be, but now you have actually rolled a nat 20, and that means complications are kind of slowly coming away from the story.
I'm gonna say it's because she's been drinking, and so she's very perceptive.
You're so perceptive. As you sip and you drink, maybe it's because the last time you came through here you were drinking too, but the snow has melted enough that you can actually see these small stacks of stones by size that kind of tear upwards. You know immediately that these stones mark the path to a nearby grouping of people. Usually, the hunters will use this, and it's meant to mark a safe path when you can't see it. So you would know that there has to be somebody nearby, or these are leading to an establishment of some kind, a small village, a clan. You're unsure.
Okay, and you said that I've been underground And board for how long now?
7 days. And it's going to take you probably 2 days to traverse the mountain down to the bottom. With the cart.
So, as Frigg asks Gudrun this question, Gudrun looks over at the stones and gets this kind of very dark look on her face. This is where they bury all the bodies.
You see Dagny's fake ears almost perk up. Bodies? What kind of bodies?
Oh no.
She's lost her
Something
speech.
about this place makes your
listen,
voice
okay.
disappear.
I said, you know what? Hold it.
Oh.
I'm trying to see if maybe like my microphone is.
I know.
Oh
I don't
wait, is that better?
That is better.
Yeah, I had the volume down on the headset.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
I love you, Kelly.
Well.
Her voice
Why
is
he
gone.
doesn't
She
give
must
me
be cursed.
Okay. So what was I lying about? Hold on.
You said that there were
said-
bodies. Yeah.
Bodies.
I said, this is where they bury the bodies of everyone who succumbed to the mountain.
These aren't trail markers at all? That's the trail markers.
Cairns.
Okay.
I feel like Adis would know enough about a thing or two to be able to tell if this is lying or not. I didn't say she was gonna say anything. I just saying.
I feel like Frigg would also be able to tell this is a lie because you can see
Have
it
fun.
following the
Do they have to roll
trail.
against my
I was about to
influence?
say it would be if you're really trying to convince them. You could roll it. You could roll an influence, and it would be against your influence. And we would take whoever the highest number obviously wins. So
Go.
I'll leave that up to you. I will
Wait,
say
against my insight.
yeah.
Okay. You said against it.
Against so go ahead and roll
shielded,
influence.
Shielded means that I get
You roll-
advantage, right?
Yeah, basically you get advantage. You roll twice, take the higher.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's see. Let's just.
Oh, okay. This is why you get to do it twice.
Wow. Oh no.
First roll natural 20, and I
Oh
have,
no.
I also have plus 6
I told
in
you,
insight.
natural 20 and then +1.
Okay.
So I have
Okay.
a 26 total.
26 total. You know that you don't know what the rocks are actually for, but you know that she is definitely pulling your leg. Like, there's no doubt in your mind. One, because the majority of clans in this area don't bury the dead. That's not, the practice is not usually to bury them, but it's been a very cold winter. So burning the bodies or setting them out to sea also might have to wait. They could have buried bodies. But what they're actually used for is what you don't know, but you know that's it's definitely probably not what she said.
I mean, I also have a stupid high lore, so maybe I know.
Hey, you're welcome to roll lore. See if you know.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That is a 14 plus 6 is 20.
Okay. Yeah, you would know. They seem to be marking path. You don't know what. Well, you might know that they're marking path. To a grouping or a village of people, more than likely. Other than that, you wouldn't know that. I would say that Gudrun would know the clan, because you've come through here once before. You would know that there is a clan that lives near the base of the mountains, and it's probably the one that the giant told you about, give or take.
Adis just makes eye contact with Gudrun and just gives her like a "you're full of shit" look, but then says, "Well then, the dead will guide us."
Yep. Let's follow the dead people.
So we just have to avoid it and be respectful, right? That's how that works.
Yep, you have to say hello to each one of them as you pass. It's only right. and
Yeah,
proper.
it sounds legit. And you see then Dagny just kind of like, sort of ambling down the path. Hello. Oh hi.
You need to be more respectful with your greetings.
Exactly.
Thank you, dead people, for letting me traverse among thy gravestones. They are very nice. They are very stacked up. I like how
They
they are
can
balanced.
tell when you're being condescending.
I like that boulder. That is a nice fold.
You're gonna make them mad.
This is just the whole.
You're gonna make them
episode
mad.
now.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh god, that's funny. I need to oh, it's over here. I have to grab my book. Hang on.
I'm laughing so hard my whole camera and laptop is shaking.
You're welcome.
Oh gosh. Well, this adorable little tete-a-tete happens between all of you as you talk. I'm sure Dagny hits every stack of rocks that you can find as you traverse down the mountain. It takes some time and it is difficult. The good news is it's getting warmer. And you know, because if you're wearing a couple layers of furs, you might have to take one off. For the first time in 9 months, you kind of get to release some of the steam. And this wagon, you're going to probably have to change from the sled to the wheels on the way down, Disa. So I'm going to have you just very quickly make me a craft roll so that you can... isn't it craft? I think that's what you're...
Yep.
Yeah. Just to exchange out the sleds for the tires. You need something that can get over the rocks better.
All right.
I will
and-
assist in any way I
Perfect.
can.
Yes, tires, the wheels. And this is actually not difficult because I think you rolled hella high when you built this thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I rolled pretty good.
Yeah, did I say Girl, wheels. Yes, these bitchin' Viking wheels.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got like sweet freaking rims.
It's a convertible.
My
They got,
Viking
like-
rooms. It
I
is
gotta be
technically.
carving in it, and like they're definitely carved.
Yeah, I believe that because you do a lot of decorative carving. That's like your thing, right? Yeah,
Yep.
they're actually pretty bitchin' wheels. You only need an 11 to do this because
Okay.
you rolled so high the first time. So definitely, if you would like the assist, but I don't know that you'll need it.
That's sure, why not? I'll take any help.
Great. So it'll come down to a 10.
Yay! All right. 13, and I get to roll 22.
Yeah, no problem. You're like, I know, I built this. I know how this works. I engineered this. It takes, probably a half day to like stop. Everybody rests. You change out the sleds for these wheels, and you can kind of pick the pace back up again. And after about 2 days, you traverse down the mountain. No problem.
Most of that 2 days is Dagny saying hello to every tombstone.
So you've lost your sanity for sure by now. You spent 7 days in a dark cave, or a dark mountain, and then came out the other side to Dagny greeting every rock along the way.
Yeah, I think it might be taking a little longer because I think Dia's also doing that, but she's like taking a little long to like say she's very serious about it. Like, oh, what's been going on?
Dagny starts making up names. Halfdan, yeah. Mountain was really tough, wasn't it? And right, Strike Kite, yeah. Man, they buried everybody in the same spot. Did everyone just like fall like right here, and then they just kind of pile rocks on top of them or something?
In a line. It was a terrible battle.
Right. So does that really say something about their fighting formations? I mean,
They,
I know
they needed a tactician.
right.
I don't know. Maybe there was an avalanche and they, whoosh.
Oh, so it just got them all at once. And then there was a person went, oh, well, I don't have to bury them, so I could just stick rocks on top of that. Okay. That makes sense. What?
Right.
Left.
There's a new set of
Alcohol.
rocks.
North.
We need a little bit more fresh meat. I'm going to go off the trail a little bit and see if I can find anything.
Dare leave me
else.
here.
I walk off with BC following.
So do you think that might be offended if I go hunt with her? I mean,
Please go hunt with her.
God.
Yeah, pair up.
Hey,
Sounds good.
Frigg, I'm coming. I come with you.
I think whenever
Great.
I'm gonna help.
Okay. You-
whenever this happens, Disa just like sits in the cart and just begins like taking out like one of like a chunk of wood and just start whittling. Well,
Oh, interesting. We see you kind of scrape away. You'll probably be glad to know, Disa, as you reach the bottom of the other side of this mountain to the other side of the valley, it's green. It's not only green, but there are trees again. It feels kind of like home. There's coverage, it doesn't feel as vulnerable. But there is something in the pit of your stomach that turns as you whittle away at this piece of wood and watch your sister walk out into the forest with Dagny.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just a flashback or I don't know, a bad feeling. Just maybe it's because you've seen this happen before and she didn't come back.
Yeah. Should I have gone with her? Hey, gonna be okay?
I mean, I'm sure she's going to be fine.
Yeah.
She's got Dagny with her. And that's excellent protection.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
hear
She's
a
not
whistle in the distance, some rustling in the leaves.
Do not worry. I have sensed that the gods do not want any conflict this day.
She'll like nod like, yeah, well, that's good. That's
I'm
yeah.
talking to the horse now. Leading the horse down the trail. Talking to the horse.
And the path seems to kind of like lead around, even though Dagny and Frigg go wandering into the forest. You're hunting, the both of you? Is that the plan? Great.
Yeah.
Let's get some rolls then. Is the goal, are you hunting anything in particular? Tell me a little bit about your hunt, and then I will set a level for you depending upon what you're trying to achieve.
Seeing that we're hitting the line where the snow is starting to melt, Frigg is looking out for smaller critters, probably like larger rabbits or something about that size. Maybe a deer if she can find one, but not very hopeful. She's essentially looking for things coming out of hibernation.
Yeah.
She's going to be using BC as kind of a bloodhound of sorts.
BC, for the first
flush them
time
out.
ever, almost stands out. There's very little white patches of snow for her to blend with, as she bolts like a white dash of lightning ahead of you, kind of pinking around, looking in holes in the ground for rabbits and things to kind of whittle or scare out. But it is in fact a deer. A buck. An 8-pointer. He's got all them horns. And it stands quite a ways away. Dagny, I'm sure Frigg sees it and points, and you two are aware now of it. It has not been spooked by you yet.
Okay. Hand motions only.
And we get this set of head motions that I'm sure the two of you have worked out over the years to get the idea.
Yeah.
I got my ears on. Is the plan to do the usual Dagny runs it around and Frigg waits for it, or what is the actual plan in your silent hand gestures?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, essentially, Frigg was saying, you wait, I'm going to go this way, and then you go around the usual, but wait for me to get in position first.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you had something else.
I was figuring that a buck is probably going to be a little bit more difficult to take down with just arrows. So if anything, we're probably going to want to try to line it up so where I can take him out with some with the pickaxes, maybe get the killing blow in. If you want to either kind of like start a distract line or even slow him down some. That's what I think.
Okay, so both of you will have to make a roll here, basically, to take your actions. I can use words, I swear.
I can use words.
I use words good. God. Well, we're gonna get the ranged attack, obviously, from Frigg. Are you gonna make this a melee attack to, like, finish up the kill, Dagny?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna stealth up on it because you're gonna need to be within melee range.
Okay, so stealth roll first.
Stealth roll first to make sure you don't spook it.
Okay.
And then we'll get the ranged roll from Frigg, who I'm guessing is going to probably lob a couple arrows to try to, like, take it down, and then Dagny can make a finishing kill if necessary.
Okay.
So let's start with those. To take this buck down, Yeah.
I will say, seeing Dagny start to try to go quietly away, I will actually take the scare point.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And wait for her to get in position, since I have really good eyesight, and then I can, since I also know deer, I can kind of see how they'll
Guide it.
probably
Yeah,
run.
totally. Okay, so let's get, if both of you are going to be moving into a position, I need a stealth from the both of you to get where you want to be. So let's start with the stealth rolls. To not spook this buck, this is a little bit more of a daunting task. You can tell
I
its
already
ears
did
are
roll.
alert. Oh, that's it. Oh, perfect. Well, you're fine then. I was going to say it's a 15 is all you needed, but blew that out of the water.
That
just
would
gonna
be a
have the
natural
worst
20,
rolls.
but I had advantage.
Killing it
But
today.
that would be a 24 then.
Killing
We're
it
gonna
today.
have the worst rolls the
This
final
yellow
episode.
die,
I
I'm
just know
telling
it.
you.
The last episode, we're just gonna like bomb and just have a TPK. Just that's how it is. We're just using up all of our luck points, like right at the get go. It seems.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, we had a good question in chat. So Ginley, why they continue to roll. Yeah, it's called North Sea Epilogues. The setting is, and it is. I say it's a new game. We've played for 2 weeks. This is our 3rd week. Great. Let's get Frigg's stealth. Oh wait, I did. It was a 20. So both of you sneak into place. You can see each other. You begin to kind of flank this single buck who is nibbling on a very, very small patch of green grass that has tucked out from the base of a tree. You watch it as it kind of rubs its horns on the tree. You can hear that sound of bone and bark grinding. It barks once even, possibly reaching out to, who knows, other deer, you don't really know. And as you both get into place, you make eye contact. Frigg is the distraction, the one going to scare it, and Frigg is going to let off the arrows first. You have closed the distance, so it will automatically be easier for you to complete this task. But it is you've not seen a deer this big in a year. So you know that you're going to have to hit it hard, and you're going to have to hit it fast. Because if you don't, Dagny's either going to have to fully run it down, or you may not get the kill. So this is going to be a 17 to to do the thing.
I'm actually going to, seeing how large it is as we're getting closer, I'm going to switch to my one of my hatchets.
Oh, nice.
And throw a hatchet instead.
Oh, like really hit it. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Because you're okay, and you're not going to take any disadvantage for the range because, like, you know, you closed in on it, so it would still be a ranged attack on it, but it will do more damage basically with the hatchet.
Yeah,
More damage.
I'm essentially trying to go to get as good of a blow as I can to make it stop and slow, so Dagny has time to get on it.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
No pressure.
Yeah, no, I just lost my D20, y'all. Okay.
Oh no, lost
I
D20.
threw it and
D20 down.
I don't know where it went. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
have a bunch of D10.
Oh, that was an 18 plus range plus 5, so 23.
In final seconds, Dagny, you watch as she switches weapons, and you're like, what is she doing? And she pulls out a hatchet, and before she ever gets it, like, out and forward, it releases from her hand, and this hatchet, and you hear it thud into the neck of this deer. It rears back, goes back on two legs, and it, you can tell as it comes down, it's not, she may have hit some kind of, piece on its spine or spinal column. It's having neurological problems. You can see it like shaking its head and trying to. So, your turn. Make the attack.
Wow. Danny kind of just like, just kind of shoulders drop down, a little disappointed that she didn't get her like full on acrobatic attack. So she just kind of goes up, takes her pickaxe, and tries and just takes the poor thing out of its misery.
Yeah.
Tries to like just
It
get it square in the head.
It doesn't run. It doesn't run. And you, clean job. And the two of you are able to, together, it takes the both of you probably, to bring it back. Frigg, you notice as you go to claim your hatchet that there is a broken arrow, not yours, in it. Somebody has already been hunting this creature and either failed to take it out or didn't manage to track it.
I will take the arrow out and start examining it. Or actually, no, I will examine it briefly to see if there's anything obvious I see about it.
You're only seeing like the end of the kind of stem of the arrow, like the actual body of it. That's just like it broke off. More than likely, it broke it off and it got wedged in it. You would need to take some time to actually remove it if you want to like address the head of the arrow or something like that. But the camera cuts over to Gudrun, Edis, and Diza sitting and kind of moving the cart along the edging of the woods ever farther down this path, knowing that Frigg and Dagny are out there somewhere. Does any conversation happen as you continue your travels?
Yeah, I think
Gudrun was talking to the horse, right?
I was commiserating with the horse. Yeah.
The horse is tired.
Yes, the horse is tired.
It even slowly stops a couple times to nibble grass.
I let it.
It's very happy with that.
Yes, I let it. If we've got a curry brush or anything like that, I get the brush and I just brush it while it's walking.
Yep.
Give it a little happy place. Cuddle the nose.
Can't touch that velvet. And it kind of, and nudges you in that like extreme muscly way that almost knocks you over. And it continues to walk, but the pace is rather slow. As the three of you have a moment to kind of just simmer once again along the path. I'm sure there's been quite a lot of silence between all five of you. There's been quite a lot of time. But eventually, Frigg and Dagny come wandering out. You see them kind of ahead of you, actually. It's like they kind of went around. They have managed to actually catch something, hunt something down successfully, and it's big.
I imagine Dagny probably has the antlers, and Frigg has the back hooves.
It's a beautiful stag.
She
really
kind of
is.
has this slung over her shoulder some with the stag head like right here.
And it comes, and you have a bargaining chip. This is a lot of meat. It's a very beautiful coat. And, the antlers themselves can be used for a multitude of things. If nothing else, I would think, Diza, I don't know the last time you've had an antler to, say, work with, but it can be used to make weapons and jewelry and all kinds of things.
Yeah. I'll keep those. Those will be, if anything, you can carve them, but maybe in the town they'll have something. God, this is...
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh. Can you put antlers on its hood? I want to be like a jack squirrel.
A jack squirrel.
I think I could. I think I can put like a little hole in there. I can...
Yeah.
Feed.
Some straps. Yeah, we can totally do that.
And as...
Well...
yeah, go ahead.
Either way, this might prove valuable when we get down off this mountain.
Yes, we could use it for trade, if nothing else.
Because you don't have a lot else. You were actually given a little gold by the clan, but not much. Because you don't really have much.
I mean, we should also use some of it for ourselves, I would think.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm getting horns on my hood.
I'm a little tired.
Isn't that right, Bucky?
Of salted jerky,
I mean,
is what I'm saying.
I mean, it's
Well,
huge. Look at it.
if you don't mind stopping for a few hours, I can go ahead and get this carved up and prepared as needed.
Horse needs a break. He's tired.
Did this, as we were wandering in the woods, did this seem like a pretty okay area to stop?
From what you can tell, it seems to be pretty calm. Just like any road, there's a possibility people could pass by. You could find maybe a place just off in the woods, but it didn't seem to be dangerous. You didn't feel anything odd about the area. And if camping's what you would all like to do, you're able to do so. 24 hours, maybe a day and a half to set camp up. Clean the buck if you want to.
To be fair, this thing would be, tends to be a lot better when you clean it right after you kill it. I mean, otherwise it gets kind of bad.
Agreed.
If you want to sell the hide at all, it has to be scraped
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly.
So I will essentially, as soon as I'll remember a clearing that we had just passed through, we'll go set up camp there, and I'll immediately start on the buck.
Yeah,
and
you-
Come on, ladies.
take
Group
care of every
project.
part as needed.
I would think that you probably don't camp too far from the road, but enough to give yourself some cover. And we'll say it may take you longer than a day and a half, maybe 2, maybe 3 days you take to really prepare this, because if you are going to use it for trade, it should be in position for trade. And it allows for Disa, if you would like to do something with the antlers, craft something with them, you would be able to do so as well.
Yeah.
But it is the kind of end of the second day, moving into the third day, as Frigg is still working diligently. At least you have a good hot meal, fresh meat, fresh venison nonetheless. That I think it would be our skull. Well, yeah, our skull that would hear it. A whistle. The sound of somebody wandering down the road. This is not somebody calling to anyone. This is just somebody whistling.
We should put them out of their misery.
And they continue to sing, or to whistle out of tune. Whistle because they can, not because they need to.
Yes. Every time the note goes a little shrill, Gudrun winces.
Might even be coming through a set of teeth.
Ugh. She would, because, obviously most people are busy. She will kind of look at Adis and shrug.
Adis is not busy.
That's why I figured you and I were the only two who were probably not busy at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of look at Adis and, shrug and meander, not stealthily, but not loudly.
Yeah, you just want to
The road.
put eyes on whoever this is.
Yeah.
Adis will accompany you if that is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we want them to go away.
Yeah,
Your bird
yeah.
could go fly, your bird
Oh.
could go fly and say hello, take a look.
Off out of the trees. It takes you, a couple minutes to kind of basically come up like an embankment, like out of the far side of an embankment to what is more of a path. And at this point, more snow has melted over the last few days, and you see off in the distance a figure, walking down the road, kind of swaying, and they seem to be pulling a cart, their own cart, like they're like walking with the cart, but they have a jaunty step. In their demeanor, they whistle and tune, and they have a small, like the cart itself has almost like a fabric piece on top of it to cover whatever's in the back of it. You're not exactly sure, but you can tell the cart's full of stuff. But they whistle away.
Are they moving away from us?
They seem to be moving towards you. They're going to pass right by you.
Okay. Gudrun is going to do that classic, bit you always see where she leans on the tree so the person doesn't see him
Yeah.
as they're passing. And then as the person passes, she's like, hello, friend.
They can. Oh! He is a frog-like fellow. Kind of squat and quaint. His eyes bulge a little bit, and he's got a very large gap that he was very clearly whistling between. He seems a little smarmy. In his general demeanor. But after you scare him, he he kind of points and laughs at you like, he kind of sets the cart down and he goes, now what would 2 incredible people such as yourselves be doing this far out? Do you need an escort?
She'll just kind of tilt her head and look at him with that little bit of pity you reserve for somebody who's trying too hard.
He goes, what? Am I not charming enough for you?
What's your name, friend?
Oh, my name, I have a list, I have a list because I didn't give him one. I just knew exactly what he looked like. He's just weird. Oh, screw it, I'll give him. He says, my name
Is Bob.
is Bob. Yes, the most Viking of all names, the Bobliest. No, he says, I'm Bjorn.
Bjorn. And what brings you up the mountain, Bjorn?
Well, everything that's bringing everybody this way. I'm sure you've heard. The Scald's gonna die and there's a party.
I mean, a party is the best way to send off a Skald. How far away is this party?
Oh, not far. Follow the rocks, they said. Down the path, they said. What damn path, I say. Nothing but snow and rock the whole way here.
It's a path of a sort. Where did you come from, Bjorn?
Oh, here and there, nowhere. I don't really come from one place. Only what I can carry, I say. And he kind of pats the very full cart with a blanket on top.
What clan are you from?
No clan. Clanless.
Did you come through the mountain?
No, round the mountain. Nobody goes through it. I heard there's a giant that lives there. Plus,
What was his name again, everybody?
Oh.
The giant?
I did give him a name. I wrote it
It
down.
was Brune, aka
Brune.
the giant in the mountain. You're
yeah,
welcome.
Brune the giant in the mountain. Thank you.
So Gudrun's gonna do her little flex, and she's gonna be, oh, you mean Brune?
The giant in the mountain's named Brune.
Yeah.
Well, then that's
Everybody has a
exactly what I
name.
mean. That's the giants don't buy things. I needed to, you know.
Counterpoint, Bjorn. Have you ever tried to sell him something?
No, most of the time I just avoid giants. I heard they eat you and then use your bones to pick their teeth.
Well, we're
Yeah, it's
still
not the-
here. Go ahead.
Also, giants aren't the only things that eat people.
Facts.
He looks
Says,
over.
like slowly grinning.
He looks over at Adis for the first time, kind of with like a side eye. It's like, she's scary. And he goes, right. Well, you two fit ladies wouldn't be in the market for. And he kind of like rips the blanket away, and this cart is full of junk. Just full of junk. Rusty weapons, a few pieces of armor, some tchotchkes, pieces here or there, a couple bits of fur, one shoe of a pair, like nothing of great value, at least to maybe the general eye. And he says, I've got all kinds for sale.
It just like immediately like climbs in the cart and starts picking through everything.
Okay, are you trying to identify anything, or you just want a general idea of what's there?
She's just looking for anything that might catch her eye or be of interest to her.
You kind of, you begin sifting through. Like I said, most of this is junk, and there's a possibility if you cut yourself, you'll definitely end up with tetanus. But, as you get to the bottom, you begin to notice that there's something shiny down there. Your hand reaches deeper in, dodges a kind of clipped blade as you pull from it a horn. Not made of bone, made of brass. Well crafted, beautiful. A little dirty, a little dinged, but in its prime, a very, very rare find. There's some things kind of carved in the side, some decorations and such. It lacks a strap, clearly to like wear it, but there is this kind of gold horn. It's like, you know, at the round end this big, and it loops like this into a small end.
I want to doot that horn.
You're gonna just blow it?
Yes.
Okay.
Gudrun she starts to go like, nothing ever good comes of dooting someone's horn. It just doesn't.
Ha! She's funny. He kind of laughs. Do you blow it?
How many horns have you dooted lately?
Listen, I've been to a lot of places. There's a lot of different types of horns to doot.
Well, that is a Persian tutor.
Don't know if I've ever dooted a Persian horn.
I'm gonna doot this Persian horn.
I don't know why you're all laughing. This is a perfectly legitimate conversation.
I'm just excited to play music.
The Persian horn gets tooted, and you blow what air you can into the end, and it lets out this clear, brassy sound. Not low like a foghorn, but kind of higher in tone and pitch. And it rings out. The three of you that were busy working are probably scared out of whatever you're doing by the sound of a trumpet sounding just not but a few hundred feet from you, just up the embankment. You realize that the two of them are nowhere to be found in camp, and the camera cuts back. He covers his ears knowing what's coming, and he says, "I'll tell you, I stole that from a Roman soldier who took it of a Persian's body."
Did you?
Yeah.
So it belongs to a dead person.
A Roman soldier. Did you defeat him in battle?
Yes.
You must be very good.
I am feeling like you're making fun of me.
Perhaps we should have a demonstration of your martial prowess.
Okay. Will you buy something?
Perhaps.
Okay. Fine. He kind of reaches in awkwardly, pulls from it, like, and rips free a kind of rusted, jagged-edged sword. He holds it. Again, he can't be 5 foot.
Adis walks really close to him very quickly and places a hand on his sword hand and says, "Oh, no need for that," she says, and her other hand raises up in a fist.
Oh. Okay.
Gudrun has actually flipped the openings on both of the hatchets, and she's just kind of twirling them.
I don't want to fight you. He immediately drops. He goes, I'm not interested. You can have the horn.
We just mugged a guy.
I know, it's great.
He goes, you can have it.
He was lying. He's lying.
He goes, dare I ask where you're headed? And he kind of leans on the tree a little bit. It's the least you can do for a free horn.
We are going to see the Scald.
I knew it! Me too! We should travel together.
I don't think so. She'll kind of lean very, very close to him. Bjorn, the only way you ever got this off a Roman soldier is if you looted the body.
Fine. It was given to me by a Roman soldier.
I feel we're getting closer to the truth.
I helped him move some things illegally.
Smuggle?
Yes. But I'm not a smuggler, I'm a proper merchant. I bought all this fair and square.
She'll just keep leaning in closer. And mind you, she's almost 6 feet tall.
Right, you're looming over this poor. I imagine this man looks like Danny DeVito.
It's little Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, literally, this is Danny DeVito, the Viking salesman.
Being loomed over by Adis and Gudrun.
Adis, who's wearing a scraggly wolf fur and has a raven hanging out with her.
And then the 6 foot tall redhead with the Roman cloak on, which he's probably just now starting to
notice that it's on her. He goes, I don't have anything against the Romans. They're just a bunch of bullies, so I alleviate them of extra when it's just lying around.
Oh, so you alleviated this from somebody when it was lying around. It wasn't given to you.
The horn was given to me. I wanted it because the Roman soldier said it was powerful, did things, called things. I've blown that horn many a time and it never did anything for me.
I mean, sometimes if you don't blow the horn just right, nothing comes of it.
Well, you are a scald. maybe you could just toot the horn. Chad, I hope you're clipping this, because this is not how I saw tonight's episode going.
Scalds are very dexterous when it comes to blowing horns.
Well, trust me, this is no magical horn. He lied to me, tricked me.
Oh. Did he?
Well, it's never done anything magical for me.
Maybe you're just not magical.
Look at me!
I am.
Are we done here? I have a party to make.
Okay, go to your party. And she will walk away and flip the horn over to Adis. Now you have your
Yeah.
own horn to blow.
Adis, this horn, it weighs in your hands in an interesting way, and now that you can really take a moment with it, you're welcome to roll a lore, if you would like. I think you also have
Yes.
insight, don't you? Yeah.
I have both, and both
Okay.
are very good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I will let you pick. And insight will tell you something, and lore will tell you something.
Do both.
Sure. Let's see. What would you want to disseminate from it? It does have writing on it. It has, I wouldn't call them pictographs, but there is some kind of geometric style design
Surprise,
on it.
I can't roll.
I did.
It's Roman.
He did mention that it was magic, and I would sort of like to get a sense of
Deeper.
that aspect of it. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and roll whichever first. Just let me know. I'm gonna say to get baseline information on this, you need to roll a 15.
Okay. I got 6, 8. That is a 24 for insight.
Okay. 24 for insight. All right.
Lore, I got a 23.
23. Okay.
They're my two best abilities.
So, yeah, right. Okay, so you begin to look it over. It does have some writing in I guess Roman. This is a battle horn. It's passed down. It's
If she points it out to Gudrun, Gudrun would speak Latin.
Oh, okay, great. So you would be able to. Okay, so I don't know if Adis would really know the Latin, but if you pointed it out, you could. But you would definitely know this is Roman, 100%. It, like I said, was very finely crafted, handcrafted, and has taken a bit of a beating, probably being worn on the battlefield. But what interests you the most is not the Latin text around it, but the symbols that are kind of drawn in with it. It does seem to have, I'm trying to think what you would call them, glyphs of some kind. It has been, this item has been blessed in some way. So whoever owned it prior, even maybe prior to the Roman who gave it to Bjorn, it was imbued with something. I don't know if magic is the appropriate term necessarily, but it does hold a power, an essence, right? The same way the God's Wood does. It is imbued with something. Somebody left something behind. And based on what you can tell, it is definitely meant to call upon something.
Gudrun,
What you don't know.
can you read the Latin on this? You're muted.
Yes.
God, I love you so much. Oh.
Then he's just like, your mouth opens and then Dot's voice comes out translating it.
Translate. Ah, la, la, la. So,
Well, I don't know. If you type out the Latin text, I'll try to say it.
I was about to say, I could attempt that. But what you see here, and what you would find great interest in, is the fact that this is a story. It's a tale. A short one, but a tale nonetheless. It's a story about two lovers he goes away to war and she stays behind, pining for what she knows will be her long lost love. And she has made for him, out of all the gold that she has left, this horn. And she tells him in his dying breath to ring it true, so that their love will never die, but live as sound in the ether for all eternity, that she will hear him when he goes. That is the story on it. The glyphs on it tell a different purpose, but that is the story that is carved into the outside. Maybe its original purpose?
I would kind of turn it over in my hands and pass the story on to Adis, possibly with a few more embellishments, as it were. Of course, it's probably just a story, but stories have power.
Yes. I have use of such power, she says, and reaches to take the horn back.
And Gudrun kind of pulls. Reaches and gives her the horn and looks very sad about it.
And he just sort of holds it to herself as they walk.
Oh my gosh, thank you for the horn in chat! Toot toot those horns!
Can I play it sometimes? We can have shared custody of the horn?
Oh yes, but if ever I am to be dying, please allow me to use it.
Oh yeah, I mean you can definitely, if I'm you can use it.
It does seem to be old, and it does seem to have great value. And he goes,
whether or not it's actually gold is the question.
Is the real question, yeah. Is it real gold? You don't know.
Probably not.
But, like I said, there seem to be 2 tales written into it. The original one in Latin, and then possibly something deeper.
I wonder if I can figure out what those glyphs mean.
You might. There's also, I would say, you could take some time, maybe during travel, to really, work over it. This is also something, I hate to use the term meditate, but this may be something the seer would want to really try to use some powers and abilities on to see what's going on.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Yep, I thought so. And does the two... oh, yeah.
Would Gudrun be able to tell if the glyphs were added later after the Latin or at the same time?
They're definitely carved separately. The tale seems to be... I would say that you've seen a fair share of wares through your time and travels. Mm-hmm. The etching of the Latin tale is the original, what was on there. These glyphs seem to be secondary. They almost follow the Latin tale as if... reinforcing it or imbuing it in some way, it actually runs around the bottom rings of it, but it was not there originally. It was put on secondarily.
I would be careful though, Adis.
Yes, but
I think
we can have a little dude as a treat.
A little dude, but how many deaths has this seen?
She almost looks excited when you say that.
How many times have lovers tooted this horn?
I mean, it depends if they're still dating or if they've already gotten married.
It depends on if their relationship status is... It's just complicated. So, as the two of you take this horn kind of back and rejoin the group, the camera pans over to Frigg, Disa, and Dagny, and you see them coming down the embankment. Adis carries something shiny in her hands, and as the two of you kind of almost bridge over the embankment downwards, you hear the squat little man, Bjorn, say, I heard there's gonna be dancing! Either of you save me a dance?
I don't dance.
You're a skald! He yells out.
Don't ask me. I don't dance.
Don't dance. I'm a skull. You hear him like under his breath as he like lifts this cart again and begins like trudging down the road the same direction you will eventually be headed.
That.
What are you two up to?
We robbed a guy.
Yep.
Really? What?
Fun.
Really?
Heard of it?
Adis got a horn to toot.
Oh, is that what that sound was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Frigg, since that horn went off, your heart has started to race a little bit. Your memories are kind of running through your head. It feels almost like a panic attack. And all you can think about is one person. One person that was left behind in the Grim Ravens camp when you escaped. Maybe it's love, maybe it's nostalgia, but there was something about that tooting horn that just pierced your brain and your heart. Another day passes as you pack up, gather your belongings, and you set out once again down the path. It can't be too far. Bjorn seemed readily assured he was almost there. And within another 24 hours' time, you begin to see that the stacks of stones are becoming more frequent. And eventually, the stacks give way to laid roads. Somebody has laid this same kind of similar polished stonework into the ground. And you can tell because the cart now is juddering. As the horse pulls it along, you can hear the clopping of those feet. Adis, if you would like to very quickly roll an insight on this, or whatever your whatever we gave you for your seer.
I think that was insight.
I think it was insight too. Yeah. This is going to be kind of difficult, so this will be set at a 17. This is a daunting task.
Well, I mean, I have advantage, and I just rolled a flat 17.
Well, perfect. Then I'm not
Plus-
worried about it.
Plus 6 and second roll. Another 17. 2 17s in a row.
Damn.
Each one
Okay.
plus 6, so 23 total.
Holy cow. Okay. Well, just clear out that grit. You probably ride in the back of the cart, I would think. And
Yep.
you sit there holding this horn. What does it look like as you attempt to understand this item using your abilities?
It's probably not as elaborate as like a full vision. She's
Okay.
probably kind of just like curled up in the back. Maybe has some herbs like smoldering a little bit.
Okay.
And is sort of like bringing them around the horn in circles slowly as she sort of mulls over it and lets her mind sort of you know when you let your mind just sort of almost detach from yourself and you sort of lose a sense of your body entirely and let your mind just flow into
That like perfect
any sort of
meditative
thing.
state.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And this smoke trails behind this slow moving cart as you walk. It smells kind of funny to the rest of you, but Ada sits there in silence, meditating over this horn. And as you meditate, it is a different feeling than I think what you're probably used to. There's no psychedelics at play here. There's no otherworldly peace. It just is. And as you meditate over it, almost like a past life regression, your mind trails backwards through memories that don't belong to you, to the things that this item has actually seen. Maybe this is the first time that Adis has actually seen through the eyes of an item, lived the life of an inanimate object. But time passes rapidly. You can feel the hands of different people all over you as you're passed back and forth, the way that you were crafted, not out of pure gold. partial gold. The first time you were given as a gift the feeling of that. The first time you were blown on the battlefield. Ringing out above an empty space as you hit the ground next to the body of the man that once owned you. That moment of being picked up and passed from hand to hand to hand, but it is one set of hands. Gloved. Dark. You can feel it in your gut that this person does not deserve this item. They take it into a hut. Small. Again, dark. Inanimate objects can't smell. They can't really see or taste, so certain pieces of senses are all but gone to you. It's almost like all you can do is feel. And what you feel is the end of a blade as it drags new glyphs into the exterior. The sound of a woman as she chants and carves them into it. And you can hear her saying, "He'll never leave me again. He's never, ever going to leave anyone again." As she carves and scratches, and it's like you can feel that burning into your skin, the sensation of being carved away at, your story being rewritten to something poisonous and toxic when it does not deserve to be. And you watch as these chapped, wrinkled, withered lips bring the horn to it and blow. And as that happens, you watch as the glyphs kind of light up in a ring. They almost kind of burn a little bit as the same sound rings out, and it wakes you as you hit cobblestone. Good. Right out. The ground changes. And you see that you are where you are, holding the horn, trying to kind of gather yourself. Pain, ghost pain still on your skin. And you see that the rocks have now given way to path, as well as an archway that seems to be leading into a very well-established village.
Gudrun would have been watching Adis. Because she has her doubts about that horn. So Gudrun would have been watching her.
Yeah, Adis, like, after she comes out, she's like, looks around, and she sees Gudrun watching her, then immediately looks back down at the horn and, like, pulls out her knife and sort of starts running its edge along the horn to, like, test, like, how strong the metal is.
To see if you can, like, inscribe into it.
Yeah.
It is partial gold, so it is kind of soft. It's softer than just like a flat brass thing, so it does take some pressure, and its sound makes your skin crawl. It's definitely not an easy task to, like, drag into that.
I will need to find a place to work on this.
For now, you strap it to your side. It's meant to be worn.
Gudrun. I'm going to need to find a place to work on this. Sorry, what was that?
I have an axe.
Are you saying you want to just haphazardly hack away at this?
I mean, it could.
I don't know if that is the best idea. Maybe I need to work on this.
Perhaps we should not do it again, though.
No. Maybe, probably not. It might need to be duded, but not right now.
After tooting. Do you all
Meanwhile,
roll in?
she hasn't, like, told anyone what she saw, so she's just kind of, like,
That's true.
rambling.
Do you all walk into this town? Like, you guys roll up and into this village?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This place is incredible. First off, most of the snow by now is gone. For those of you that would have been keeping track, The clan has left by now.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely on the way. You've been out just a little over 2 weeks now, leading the kind of way through. Actually, it might be even a little more than 2 weeks. This place is being decorated. You can see that there is a makeshift mass table that has been constructed in the centralized area of town. A large pyre is currently being built. A body pyre.
Looks like there's going to be a barbecue.
No, those are for bodies.
I know, barbecue.
People
Are you
bustle
going
about.
to eat them?
Well, I mean, you just ate that last one we killed anyway. No, I'm just messing with you.
I mean, this is a festival.
Correct.
It's decorated.
They're going to burn bodies.
Disa, this place is
Best time.
amazing. The buildings here have been here much longer than your clan.
Mm-hmm.
They're not made of just wood. They're made of stone and some kind of like mud or clay mixture to make them very structural and stable. There are 2-story buildings in this place. There is actual proper homes and storefronts, I guess you could say. You can definitely tell where like the town hall meeting is. It's at like you walk into this town. Think Western town. All the buildings are along the side. Right behind it would be all the residential, and then at the very end is a very large building, clearly like a meeting hall. But the meeting hall is being kind of excavated, and they're bringing everything outside. But you can see that based on the number of people in town, this place is it's more populated than it should be. There seems to be a lot of guests here, and you can very, very readily see there are multiple clans here. Because some are dressed in their colors, some are dressed in their symbols, and they seem to be mingling about. Gudrun, mead is everywhere.
Looks at it. You can see she is tempted for a moment. But instead, she stops somebody who's carrying some mead and asks them where she can find the Skald's home.
You stop and ask a woman that's kind of like getting things together and seems to be working. She does stop when you say the Skald. And she kind of bows her head almost in a level of honor, and she says, "The Skald is resting. She has 3 nights of feasts. She needs her rest."
I'm going to try and convince her to tell me where she's resting.
Okay. Yeah, you can try to get it out of her. You want to influence her?
I do, and maybe not roll a 1.
Okay,
this
maybe not roll a
time.
1. It will be a little difficult. You know, sleep for her is important. So this is a 14 difficulty. I have no...
Nope.
You
rolled a 1.
called it!
Oh my-
Wait, but isn't influence your dot?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing it twice.
Okay, good. I was like, okay.
Oh
Are
my-
you kidding me? What the?
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Can I do something to try to help this situation?
You can. You can bring it down to a 13 if you would like to assist. You would take a point, like a grit point, to assist to bring it down to a 13.
But it's still not going to help me. So.
It's-
I just wanted to like throw a handful of silver at them.
Oh, you want to actually just pay them.
Yeah. I have 18 silver and we're not doing anything with it.
Well, so, again, this game is more narrative based, and a failure is not always the worst thing. But
Constant. A failure.
constant failure is
for me.
constant.
The question is, are you going to literally throw it at them? Because that would be more of a throw.
Ranged.
check.
Oh, well, my
So-
phone is bad, so never mind.
So she... Okay. She kind of looks at you. What do you say to her? That's first thing.
I need to pay my respects to her. And I need to do it while she's quiet. And resting.
Oh. Well, I could get in a lot of trouble. And I don't have the means of being able to let you in, but if you would like to take it up with the Jarl, he's inside the town hall, and she points to the large building at the end. He does like everybody to check in as they come into the town. And she kind of looks the five of you over. You are a small clan.
We come from a small clan.
Oh, there are only five of you?
There are more, but there's not many of us left. The rest are following.
I see. Well, maybe the Jarl could help you. Trowels.
Question, Dot. Would I remember? Because I would have come through here before.
Interesting.
I would have
You're
been
right.
carousing.
Do you think you would have stayed in this this is a very well established village, which means this is not a small clan. You would know this clan very well. Everybody in this area does, especially down this side of the mountain. So it would make sense this is a good stopping point. They would have had like a proper tavern or something to like house you in and for you to get drink in.
Is
So
this an old Jarl or a young Jarl? Would I have influenced this Jarl?
I see. It's an older Jarl, and this Jarl is actually married to the Skald. She is the warrior queen of She is warrior queen Ingrid. And you passed through probably what? 8 or no, even more than that, 10, maybe about 10 or 11 months ago to kind of make it to where you did before the winter hit. She was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
She was very healthy. She was away, in fact, defending the clan, but she was not talked about as if she was in peril of dying or she was an elder in some way. Mm-hmm. The Jarl, on the other hand, he is younger than her. He did take an older wife, and that was an arranged marriage. The reason this clan has stayed strong is because they tend to arrange marriages to keep merging clans, so their numbers continue to grow over time.
Their strength.
Correct.
All right. So what was the Jarl's name?
The Jarl's name is Trowel. Jarl Trowel.
Trowel?
Trowel. Troel. Trowel.
Troll.
Troll. Trowel.
Troll.
Troll.
Trowel to dig with. Troll to Jarl with.
Trolls. Yeah. So it's King Troels. Trolls. It's like somewhere between those two words. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
I assume our Dagny and Disa and are they all?
Yeah. You guys are all witnessing this, and her and the woman just kind of points and she says, "I hope you stay. The first feast is tonight."
So I think we would probably like tie up the cart or something.
Yeah. If you needed to put the carts, you'd see like all the other carts that have come through for the clans, right? People standing around, horses
Put, like,
are tied
club
up
on the horse so that nobody steals it. You know?
Fate of the gods was just reached. Thank you out there so much for that.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
And Gudrun will take a moment to straighten her hair and straighten her cloak and make herself look a little bit more like a skald. And
as opposed to a drunken hobo.
You kind of quickly pat those ends down, you know?
Yep. And explain to everybody that we need to go meet the Jarl.
Yep.
This is somebody we need to make the nice with because of the clan. This is
good. I'm good with Jarls.
Of course.
We're making nice. I can be nice. Can you be nice?
You have no idea.
Is that another sex joke?
Shh.
A couple people, like a woman covers a kid's ears near where you're standing as she kind of like runs a kid off.
I didn't really mean that kind of nice.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes, it's all right. Come on, let's go meet him.
Well, you could, except on the way up, because you're walking through this town,
boy.
you see the blacksmith, you see a carpenter shop, Disa.
Yeah, Disa's like
and it's
keeping
a
a mental check.
nice one too. They're actively making boats. You should know
Ooh.
that. They are actively making boats.
And she's logging that little location in there
Yeah,
after
just
this
like
meeting.
you ping that. And as you're walking up, the fate of the gods see it as maybe not your time to make it to the Jarl quite yet. As a small 5-foot man stumbles in your path, and he does
God bless it.
He does so because 3 other warriors, very clearly based upon their armor, their stature, their build, and the tattoos that they all bear. They are definitely from the same clan, and they are bullying him. And they kind of like, they push him, and they like, as he falls down and tumbles in front of you, almost tripping you. It is definitely Bjorn.
Gudrun would look down at Bjorn, look over at Adis.
Adis steps over him.
Gudrun sighs, and she
I
steps
quietly
she
walk
steps
up.
over him as well,
Mhm.
but steps over him to get between him and
Yeah.
the three warriors. Is that what Adis was also doing? Or was Adis just walking over?
She was just walking over him, but like if you get between him and the warrior, she'll like stop and be like, oh, this is a social situation I'm not used to, and like follow suit with you.
Brig, what were you doing?
I was kind of quietly following behind everything. Seeing this, I come up and I get to the other side of Gudrun. And just quietly, non-threatening, but definitely ready to defend my clan's people.
This one massive dude steps up. He has a single dread that touches almost his belly button, long from his matted beard. It has teeth in it, probably the teeth of his enemies.
Ugh.
And he steps up and he says, "You're not gonna get in the way, are you? We could just pour you some cider and trip him again." He kind of slaps his friend. They blab. Mead goes slinging. They're very much drunk.
This is a story, just a complete combat worth of great, huge tales. All sorts of legends. This particular, the big guy covered in tattoos decides to trip a merchant. Yes, I'm sure your gods are very proud.
Adis looks at Gudrun and says, "Are we fighting? Is this a fight situation?"
Fight? Who
Sorry, I
said
can't hear you.
fight? He kind of looks around. I'll take up a fight. And people at that point, there's a lot of clans here. And a clan breakout of a fight in a place like this could end really poorly for everyone. And he kind of makes it known that he'd be down for a romp.
Gudrun adopts again the same attitude you saw her adopt with the giant. What she does that she didn't do with the giant is, as she's bringing her hands up to put them out in front of her, she undoes the clips on her hatchets, but then she brings her hands up in front of her. Friend, why fight?
Why not?
And if you were to fight, friend, is it really with such a small man you wanted to fight?
Oh, he cut in line. He definitely did not cut in line.
Oh, but even if he did cut in line, friend, look at the size of him. Do you think he really drinks that much?
No, measly runt. They kind of look at each other. Yeah, he doesn't even have a clan.
And what clan are you?
He says, we are the Black Stags.
Oh, very formidable.
Or like this one. And just kind of pull the stag head over.
He looks and he says,
I think I found your cousin. Hi there.
you can tell they are...
Do you want to say something? Hi. How are you? Hello, cousin. It's been so long.
There's not really much left of the head.
Yeah, I know.
He goes, there... He says, are you trying to make fun of our clan? We did not travel all this way to see some scald die, to be picked on by some... And he kind of looks you up and down, flicks your ear. Some... Who are you all again?
Gudrun puts her hand up and she says, we have to clarify a couple things here, friend. First, what is your name?
My name.
You have one.
I am Rin.
Rin.
Never heard of it.
And also, to be fair, our berserker seriously has just been wanting to do that with that stag head for at least a week.
He goes, good.
I'm riding on a shoulder.
He says,
She's very excited about
he
it.
says, I tried to kill a stag last week.
Did you?
Yes. It eluded my grasp.
Well, we
Sounds like you
for
weren't
you.
trying hard enough.
we have two extremely we have two extremely competent hunters in our party.
This is that so, and he, of course, looks you all over.
I smirk and I say, well, luckily for you, my hatchet was faster than your arrow.
And my axe.
His eyes kind of squint, not liking that at all. And he says, we simply wanted to share meat with you, but it seems you prefer tales of... And he kind of looks you up and down. Your heroics. Dare I ask when the last time you all saw battle was?
Technically 2 weeks ago against a bunch of murder ravens.
Against ravens! Do you hear that? Ravens! And they begin to cackle, the three of them.
Well, if you want, I could see some combat quite shortly.
Gudrun will do the
me,
creepy.
Me.
Yeah,
me. I've been
Gudrun
bored
will
for
do
2
the
weeks.
super creepy kind of just like face goes flat and she just stares and she goes, "Are you doubting us?"
He goes, I never put doubt in my enemies. That's an easy way to get a blade to your spine. He says, I'm simply saying that it seems odd the 5 of you would stick up for such a... He kind of looks around. Where did he go?
I check my pockets.
Pocket-sized man. He kind of looks around. Bjorn is long gone, finding elsewhere to hide.
Perhaps our clan is used to being the ones that people pick on.
And he says, my turn to ask questions. What
Oh,
clan
good.
is that?
And she looks over at Aegis.
Do I introduce us?
You can.
I can do it. I mean, it's up to you.
It's either that or the
you
stag's
do it-
going to. I mean,
You
come
do
on.
it better. You're very good.
We're
at
with
it. Go
Heimdall's
ahead.
wolves.
Heimdall's wolves. Oh, yeah. He makes eyes at the others. He goes, you're that clan that accepts anyone.
Anyone, where are they anyway?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if you make it in.
That's why you've been hiding in a valley for years.
That was good eating.
Not just that, but sometimes you have to be by yourself in order to find your equals.
Possibly. So, the wolves have left the valley and come all the way here to celebrate the Scald's death.
That, and the ravens are coming.
What ravens?
The grimmest of them all.
He kind of looks at them. You're not talking about the grim ravens.
Not talking about this one.
We are
We
definitely
talking about
talking
the
of...
grim ravens.
You both say in
Same
unison. Or say in unison as they're it makes the hair on his arm stand up a little bit. He says the grim ravens are a nightmare, fairy tale. You tell kids so that they will do what they're told. They don't
I take
exist.
one step closer, and Frigg's not actually that tall of a woman. So she's definitely looking up at him. She says, well, get ready, because your Nightmare is coming.
He kind of doesn't like you and is like personal. He's not used to that. Somebody like stepping up to him a little bit. Disa, you're seeing
Now.
your sister in full action right now.
Yeah.
Would you like some meat from the stag that you missed or not?
I am delicious.
That sounds like a fair trade. Again, he kind of poofs his chest a little bit, kind of meeting you. And there's another voice that you hear. It has walked up behind all of you in the midst of this tension. What is going on here? The 3 of them almost like to the sound of this actually rather welcoming and very subtle voice. Nothing.
completely at ease. I don't even like look at him again. I just turn my back straight to him.
Yeah, he goes, nothing, Jarl. We're simply sharing in tales of the road. These Heimdall's wolves have brought fresh venison. And if you turn to look at who he speaks to, there stands their Jarl. He wears the pelt of something that is white, probably a bunch of white rabbits. It's actually rather beautiful. He looks you all over. He says, I don't know that I know you, but Heimdall's wolves are always welcome here.
As he says he doesn't know them, Gudrun turns around to see him.
He goes, but you are familiar. Why?
I was here about 10 months ago.
Yes.
Spoke with your wife.
Yes. You drank all our mead.
She does that a lot.
Yes.
But I sang you good songs.
He says, it's interesting, as much as I'd like to say that I issued a welcome for Heimdall's wolves. You have been in isolation in the valley for a long time. How did you know to come?
We are coming with news.
News?
Not good news.
Come.
The ravens are coming.
His eyebrows kind of raise. He says, come. He looks to the three of them. Continue drinking. And if I see you trip anyone again, I will take your feet.
May I have them afterwards?
Yes. This Jarl can't be but about 30. Definitely seen battle. A scar crosses down near the cheek and crosses. You can't see it, but it would cross down to the shoulder. He's a bit understated in terms of size, but his presence makes up for anything that he lacks in muscular value. And he gestures for you to join him inside of the town hall. When you enter, you can recognize that the main table has been pulled outside because it's an empty hall. At the end sits 2 seats, his and of course hers, but she of course does not sit there.
Real quick before we
yeah.
actually walk in there, I will say loudly, I will be very put out with anyone who hurts my fox. His name is BC.
I imagine we hear like the tiniest little growl from BC as BC introduces themselves, and they all kind of look at it like, like fox. But BC follows, as does the Raven, and all of you enter. He says, I would offer you a chair, but the hall is empty in preparation for tonight. But he does take his seat. And he says, come, step forward. He seems tired. Much too tired for his age. He says, tell me, what do you mean by the ravens are coming? Wait, you're muted, Great Skald. I hear not your beautiful voice.
I wasn't muted. I don't know.
Oh,
what's
weird.
Going on
It
with
was
this
just like
headset.
yeah. 2 or 3 words at the top always get lost.
It could also be my internet as well.
Oh yeah. He says, tell me about these ravens.
The Grim Ravens are coming.
The Grim Ravens.
They are set to overtake our valley.
The last time I heard of the Grim Ravens, they were simply a group of bandits.
They've grown. Ask Frigg.
He simply turns and looks at you, seeking an answer.
With every passing month, their numbers seem to grow. They value only the strongest. They take no prisoners unless they can use them in whatever way they like.
I see.
Everyone else and everything else is property of the clan or dead.
So, you are all here to warn us?
and to find a new home ourselves.
They're
Oh.
fleeing.
The wolves leave the valley.
We have no choice.
They already sent a call.
We were attacked.
This
They
is
were waiting
news.
until the ice wall melted enough.
We've lost over half our number.
The winter has been harsh on us as well. I am rather shocked by this news. I must think on this. If they are to come through here, I must keep my clan safe. And where do the wolves head? Where does your path lead?
Marsh.
To the sea. Are the wolves crossing the North Sea?
They look for safety.
We look for a new home.
You can tell this weighs on him because this home has clearly been here a long time. And the idea of having to pack his clan is not an easy task. Well, I can offer you shelter. And there will be a feast tonight. You will get to witness her final song.
We are honored.
May I see her first?
His face drags when you say that. And he says, "Do you have business with her? She is not well."
Very well the last time I saw her.
Yes.
I think I need to see it with my own eyes.
He nods. I will see what I can do about that. Until then, you will be given lodging. Your Jarl was very kind to me once. She showed me mercy when she did not have to. He says, but that is a story for another day. Until then, the wolves are always welcome here. And if your clan passes through, we will assure to assist them where we can. He says, I'm curious, though. You have no boats.
We don't need boats. We have Disa.
We intend to make the boats once we get to the sea.
He kind of looks over at you. Interesting. A carpenter. A single carpenter. You must be good with your craft.
Good enough, but if I may ask a favor, could you, even though this is a festival, introduce me to a few of the smiths? I'd like to talk with them, see what they know. Anything could help us.
He says, I can tell you. Here, they'll be more than happy to welcome you to the smith. He says, there's no need for my introduction. Introduce yourselves.
Good. I saw the forges on the way there.
Yes.
I think I'll do that.
He kind of nods and he says, to the rest of you, obviously, as for the black stags, be wary. They like to cause trouble, and I have a feeling that tonight's feast they may find themselves more of it. Tensions are high between the clans in this area.
We heard there was some rivalries.
Always.
Are you challenged?
Not currently. No. We have had more pressing matters, and the clans in the area seem to understand the importance of this event. We have put our petty differences to the side for something of greater import. At least for the next 3 days.
Well, with luck, you will also see and be able to convince the rest that blood ravens are important and worth banding against as well.
One common enemy. We shall see. I will not dampen the celebration with such information. I will hold a town hall the morning after the third feast. For those that are left, I will make the announcement that the Grim Ravens are coming. Thank you for this information. You did not have to give it to us. It says a lot about all of you.
You were kind to me once.
This is I try to be kind to all, except those that raise a blade against me, or my people.
That's usually a good idea. Yes.
And he says, come. If you would like to see her, I will take you to her.
Gudrun would follow.
Anybody that wants to see her can. He
This
leads.
is
Yeah.
awkwardly following behind because she doesn't really know what else to do.
Yeah, totally.
I think we all are.
We're waiting for the feast to happen until the sun goes down. So you kind of walk to the back area. You can tell they live in this place as well, in like an upper story of the town hall. He leads you to the back. Much nicer than probably anything you've seen, though still relatively quaint. This is by no means like a fortress or castle. He leads you to their room. At the very, very end, and he cracks the door open. Surprisingly enough, she does not lay in bed. Instead, she stands in the center of the room. Two of her right hands help put her armor on her. They're suiting her up, on top of a very beautiful dress that she wears. But Gudrun, she's pale and significantly thinner than you remember her. Her eyes lack a certain glow to them. The glow of glory and adventure that calls to both a warrior and a skald. She seems hollow, just a shell, as she stands there. Her back is to all of you as you come in. You can see that her hair has been put in a massive braid and tied round, and it's graying, and has grayed quite a lot, even over the last year. He says, I will leave you to it. My queen. She simply turns and you see the edge of her face. Beautiful bone structure, though relatively thin around in all the right places. And he says, you have company. Heimdall's wolves are joining us for our feast this evening. They've asked to speak with you. She simply nods and says nothing. And he leaves and closes the door. The last piece of armor is fitted. You hear it kind of snapped on, like clapped on and tied on. It fits her well, except she doesn't feel it quite as much as she used to with her muscle mass. And she turns and looks at all of you. She's probably 50, but time and battle wear on her. And what do I owe the pleasure?
She's a little cursed. Her voice kind of goes in and out sometimes.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with either this or
Is it me?
interwebs. I don't know. I've had you guys freezing up sometimes too.
Oh, okay, weird. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
as she says, what do I owe the pleasure?
Gudrun would step forward and incline her head. I don't know if you remember.
She kind of squints and looks you over, and she says, it has been a long year, but you are familiar. We spoke once. Also a skald.
Yes,
You were newly returned from Rome.
I was.
How has the return to your homeland treated you?
The winter was hard.
Yes, it was.
We lost many.
So did we. She kind of walks for the first time. You can tell that the armor is very heavy. And she kind of wanders over to a chair and she sits down very slowly. She tries to keep her poise, but you can tell she's struggling. And she says,
Yeah, Gudrun also gives a side eye to Adis to see if like Adis has any insight into what's going on here.
I try to analyze this from what I can see.
yeah, give me an insight roll. 15 probably, minimum.
Okay.
Nothing too hard.
Uh,
Oh yeah, you
the
get the
first roll was a 15 plus 6.
Okay, well that'll do it.
21.
Yep. um. To your knowledge, there's nothing supernatural happening here. She is sick. This is Mother Nature at its finest. She has probably fallen ill over the cold winter, from what you do not know. But she is sick with something that is causing her body to age and decay at a pretty rapid rate.
Adis will take out like a small flask sort of thing, which would have like a tincture from like willow bark, and offer it to her. So it would basically be like Advil.
Yeah,
almost.
she kind of smells
Aspirin.
it. And, yeah,
It's
aspirin.
aspirin.
And
Yeah.
she, her eyes kind of close, and as she kind of whiffs it, she says, "This is strong. Thank you." And she drinks probably half of it and caps the bottle. There's no telling what other herbs the seer in this clan has potentially even or doctor in this clan has her on.
And suddenly she's tripping balls.
Yeah, exactly. But and she says, "I am honored by your presence. I did not know the wolves would be in attendance."
It is a happy coincidence.
Yes.
I did not know that you had been ill.
Unfortunately, for many months now. But it seems that being strong and a warrior cannot save you from everything.
No, it can't.
But I have fought a good fight, and I decided that tonight should be the night. I will sing my last song.
Better to choose your own time to do it.
It's true. I have dreamed of the Bridge of Light. It calls to me nightly. I think maybe tonight I will walk it. She seems to talk in this kind of weird poetic way, as if she's not entirely here, but she's trying to be.
Well, you can't walk it without plenty of alcohol.
She says, unfortunately, my body does not take sustenance the way it used to. It rejects most things.
We'll work on it.
Yes, maybe a final drink would do my old heart some good.
And Gudrun, as she's talking to her, is removing from her hair some of the sapphire and jade beads that she has in her hair. And as she's talking, she starts putting it in the braids.
The braids. She lets you, not that she could fight you if she wanted to, but she's very comfortable with all of you here. And she says, is there anything that I can do for you?
Will you allow me to remember your song?
She says, yes. I would very much like that. I fear that, as all skalds do, that our stories will be lost when we are gone. Meow.
Yeah, I know.
I love
he's
it.
being a jerk.
No, kitties are never jerks. They like to talk to us. And yeah, and she says, I'm afraid that as every skald, we fear our stories will be lost.
I'll make sure it isn't. I'm very loud.
She looks to the rest of you. I knew your Jarl. Once. She was a fine warrior. I will honor you tonight as well. It is kind of you to come check on me. She knows that's what you're all doing. And she says, but I must rest now. My memory, it doesn't work as well as it used to. I must assure that I remember it before I can give it to you.
Understood. Gudrun would kind of turn to everybody and give them the, we should head out.
And she says, I will
Kind of
see
thing.
you there for a final toast.
Before everybody leaves, Gudrun would turn back to her. Should you need help when the time comes for your death prayer, let me know.
She says, it is funny. I thought I would write my own death prayer. But I seem to have no words. And she says, here. And she kind of reaches into, guess what you might consider, like a drawer. And she slides it's almost like an amulet. It's kind of like a flat piece of something that has, an etching, a pictorial etching in it of a man and two women. Roll it. Can you roll me an insight? This is an insight for you. As you stare at this little coin.
I have not been doing well.
I know you can do it. I have faith in you. It's not hard. You only need an 11.
You know what? I'm gonna spend 2 grit.
Yeah. Okay. The emotional moment of this woman, the great warrior queen Ingrid, one of the greatest skalds ever to live, is giving you something, and it almost causes you a significant moment of anxiety as you look over this
I have
amulet.
anxiety right now. Yes.
Yes.
So I spent 2 grit. Does that lower it at all, or no?
Oh yeah, it takes it down to a 10.
Come on, no whammy.
Beautiful. You manage to catch your breath as she hands this to you, and you are so very sure that the figure on the right is the original Jarl of the Heimdall wolves, and that she is the other figure on the left, and the current Jarl of this clan stands in the middle. There is some more etching on the back, though you don't necessarily have time to read it, before she says, it's funny. I never thought my last song would be public.
We can't choose our performances, let's be honest.
She says, never has a truer statement been made.
We sing where they pay us. It's how it works.
She says, that is yours. It was made. It was made for my husband and I, as a reminder of what your Jarl did for us.
Is this the old Jarl? This is the old Jarl, right, that we're talking about? Yeah. Her daughter is our current Jarl.
I'm sorry, she stepped down?
She is no longer with us.
More light behind her eyes seems to squander and fade.
It was a hard winter.
I am so sorry, I did not know. She says, instead of a final song, how about I tell you a final story?
I like stories.
Your Jarl was promised in hand to ours many, many moons ago. But he and I were in love, proper. But I was, of course, a skald, wandering, and a warrior on the battlefield. So our love was never able to flourish. When I found out that he was going to marry another, I came home and challenged her to a battle.
This is the proper way of things.
It is. And my foolishness I lost. But your Jarl, she showed me mercy. She laid down her weapon, forfeited upon her own honor, so that I could rightfully marry him. Wait, say it again. I missed you. No. There
we go.
Now I got you.
She understood love.
That she did. And it was the day that she walked out of this village with shame riding upon her back that she founded her clan. Members of ours left to follow her. I wonder if she ever thought about that, or us. So I had this made. The remainder of a story of love. It's your story now.
I will make sure to tell it to the people who need to hear it.
As all good skalds do. And she probably asked for your hand to, like, help her over to the bed, where she kind of lays down for a minute. It doesn't take long for her eyes to close before she is properly asleep. And she still breathes. She doesn't, like, die in front of you or anything, but she does rest.
Please
And,
don't.
right? And as the five of you gather, the celebration begins to pick up. As the sun goes down, the party gets better. There is fresh venison. Thanks to Frigg and Dagny. Disa, you meet other carpenters. Not an old crotchety man who tells you that your ideas are stupid, or that your carvings don't mean anything because they have no practical purpose. Instead, they share with you their talents. You talk over it. They want to see your changing cart, a new thing for them. They may even offer you some new tools you didn't even know existed for your work, specifically for the making of boats.
Yeah, I imagine that Disa is just like an intense chatterbox, but like she's been wanting to, like, she hasn't talked to anybody about it, so she's just like, it's like, I mean, she's gonna come back to the celebration just hoarse, like she can't talk.
Can't talk. Yeah, it's interesting. You've not ever been to another clan before, but to walk into one like this makes you hopeful for other clans out there. Maybe the world's not as scary as you thought. And Adis, you get to meet their seer. A woman, old and blind. She tells you, very quickly as you walk up to her, keep your distance, child. Whatever you carry, it brings with it the ghost of those lost.
I wanted to speak to you about that.
She kind of raises her eyebrows, these white, milky eyes. Her years of seeing have literally blinded her.
Yes. I was hoping that I could do something with this to not just release what is being held within, but perhaps make something new.
She furrows her eyebrows. I see. Inquisitive. Unfortunately, the curse that is carved into this thing, she can't quite tell what it is. She can just feel it. She can, like, read it. She says, it is wrong. Not what it should be. The only way to rid a curse is by taking it to the one who made it. She says, be careful. Many a heart has been stolen by that item.
Have you any idea who made it?
She says, may I touch it?
Of course.
Her crinkly hands, her fingernails are long, they curl on the ends, they're so long, and you can hear it click as she grabs this thing, and she puts it to her ear as if she was going to hear something, and she says, oh, yes. She says, I do not know them. And kind of puts it in your hand, but I can tell you, the one who made this is far away. A place where our gods do not dwell. She was angry, heartbroken. The worst way to make a curse.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When Adis was sort of communing with the item, did she get a sense of how long ago the curse was put into it?
That's a good question. Probably, okay, let me think timeline here. That would have been maybe 50 years ago. Maybe. Maximum.
Okay.
So not too terribly long. This is not some ancient item by any means.
Well, perhaps if she passed from this world, she was moved closer she's moved within reach of my grasp.
Possibly. She says, I cannot tell you what you seek, but I can give you the means of seeking it. And she reaches over, not being able to see her like pat the table, and she feels a few bottles, pops one open, smells it, wrong, until she finds what she's looking for. And she hands you a pouch. A small pouch. It is potent. It has some kind of herb set in it. And she says, if you are inclined, make yourself a cup of tea. If you truly wish to see through her eyes, you can. And she hands it over to you. And about this time, the music starts up. It's festive, and music does not often get played, only for very special occasions, or by a single skald, of course. But people dance, and eat, and drink. The five of you probably don't remember the last time you had a meal this girthy and tasty. Not salted cured meats, nothing cold. Your mead is warm. Your food is warm. And it fills your bellies. And at the end of the night, there is a hush as the Jarl takes the kind of front near where the main hall stands, almost on the stoop, I guess you could say. He welcomes the queen out. She walks very slowly, but she looks absolutely beautiful, even in her age. She carries herself with a charisma that is undeserving of anything that is human. And she stands on the stage and she sings a song. When the song is done, the night dwindles and she goes to bed. We will find out about the song next week because we are already over time and I don't want to push us any farther. Hey Sid, you are late, we just got done. And you did miss some stuff, but that's okay. Next week is our finale episode where we will hear the final song of the Skald and see if our brave five can make it to the coast. You're not far now. And little pauses. I'm sorry. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Final episode already. This was a short-run campaign, but remember, not everything is final on the dot lot. And I run short campaigns, one, so that I can have all these incredible players in one place, which is difficult with their busy schedules, and two, so that we can always come back for season 2. So, finale next week. We will finish out our North Sea tale with the beginning of the final song of a dying skald, which is so strange when I say it out loud. We'll go around. Let's meet our cast for the last time tonight. You guys tell us where we are and where we can find you when you're not here being amazing. Dagny, you're up.
All right, my name is Catherine Barsonistis. I run the nerdy food blog, The Gluttonous Geek, when I am not playing a Squirrel Zerker. And I just recently this week, I want to say about yesterday, posted up our North Sea Epilogues themed recipe for some herb lefse, stuffed with herb mushroom toppings and smoked salmon and all that. Thanks so much to Kika for suggesting lefse. I would have been so freaking lost on what else to do Viking food wise if not for your suggestion. But yes, you can find that on my blog at thegloutinousgeek.com. Also, I have printable recipe cards if you join either my Patreon or if you are currently part of Dot's Patreon. She will send you a PDF recipe card.
Mine's going up tomorrow.
For this recipe, so you can cook along without having to keep scrolling down my site over and over and over. But yes, I also run a tabletop-inspired cooking show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on The Gluttonous Geek on Twitch. This week I am making some stuffed pork loin with gravy. So yes, I am working with stuff that I have in my house. It should be delicious if I don't screw it up. So yes, please do join me, and I will stop hogging the spotlight. So
not at all. That's what the end of this is for. Is all about the spotlight and finding where we can support all of you. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. Let me just see this really quick. I'll drop those links again. For those of you in chat that are like, second season, remember all of my seasons and all of my shows are very much dependent upon Patreon because I want to make sure to pay my cast. So if you want to see more and you want to see continuation and sustainable showing here on the dot lot, go support the Patreon. Moving right along to Disa. We're gonna get to see this boat building action in work next week. Just you wait.
Ooh, yeah.
Somebody's got to build us a boat, yo.
Yep.
Somebody's got to build us a boat.
She's gonna put everybody to work too. So.
She's gonna put Disa for the first time putting on construction pants.
And I helped.
I love it. Tell us where we can find you, Shauna, when you're not here.
You can find me mostly Flying Cirrus on pretty much any social media thing where I have my games and the artwork, which I've been doing couple PC artworks for streams and stickers and stuff. And for this week, than my usual stream, I'm gonna be on WebDM. On Saturday, we're gonna be playing some D&D, and this is a little bit pertinent to the dot bot because I'm gonna be playing a shifter rogue. So I'm gonna be, I'm actually gonna be playing. I'm gonna be playing a version of Jess as a rogue. So
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I am here for that. And which channel did you say that was on?
WebDM.
Oh, WebDM. Yeah, go over there. Support WebDM. They have great stuff. Very nice. And Eris.
Hello, I'm Eris Savad. I make dice accessories and travel accessories for geeks and stuff. You can find my stuff on erisavad.com. Because you're watching this show, you can save 10% if you use the code .army.
It's true.
Because that's a great code.
It's true.
What else? Oh, I also play a lot of RPGs. On Thursdays at 8 p.m. you can find me on Unmade Gaming's channel, where I play with Go Figure Dot. We are playing Void, a Coriolis campaign. On Sundays you can find me on Open for Adventures channel at 4 p.m. Eastern time, where we are playing a little campaign currently known as Sunday Friends until we find a better name for our group.
I've played entire campaigns where we never found a name for a group. It happens sometimes, but
Right now, we're just Sunday friends.
I love that hey, Sunday Friends is a great name for the record. I would just keep Sunday Friends. We've gone from the dot lot to the dot cult since you've been talking, Eris. I just want you to know, says chat.
Well, I don't see why not. We started off at dot army, so well, there's the dot lot, the dot cult, and now it's
The dot army. I'm taking over. We will all be dots before it's over with.
Trust in dot. I gave you that graphic.
You did.
Should be using it for something.
I should. It sounds like we need a new emote that says trusted dot. Oh, thank you so much for another donation. That means that we have reached the goal bar a second time today, which means we'll have another Fate of the Gods at the top of next episode. Thank you so much for that, Anon. And Kika.
Hey everybody, I'm Kika. I am role player, game designer, streamer, etc., etc., etc. You can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Kika. That's twitch.tv/KIKK, and on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, and speaking of Scalds, real life Scald, IRL Scald. Hi Kelly, how are you?
Well, before I do anything, just because I want to see Dot squeal, and because we did get Fate of the Gods twice, somebody gets his treat on stream, which I've been holding for 10 minutes in my hand. And
poor Little's probably so late.
Yeah, he was not happy.
He's like, give it to me! Stop talking! I love it. Oh, what a cutie.
Well, he's been eating the cat food, so he's in trouble.
Oh.
Yes.
That's why your kitty's so upset.
So I am Kelly. I'm the Opera Geek. You can obviously find me here on Tuesdays. Starting 2 weeks from now, yes, Kika and I will both be on Wandering DM's channel playing The Witcher tabletop RPG, in which I will not be playing Triss Marigold. Wednesday nights, I do stream on my own channel, twitch.tv/The Opera Geek. Usually playing The Witcher 3 or whatever else takes my fancy if I'm having one of my weird nights. But what we always do is, chat is open to just talk. It's been a rough week for everybody.
Yep.
And it's been a rough week for me personally and for a lot of people. So come hang out. We chat. Totally cool, very laid back. You can watch me make really bad life decisions for Geralt of Rivia. Which is pretty standard. And Thursdays...
Especially when it comes to his beard.
Listen, he only gets shaved when you're around.
Rude.
Wow,
okay.
That's a lot.
We're supposed to be a coven.
Yeah, I do shave Geralt's beard every time Eris comes into chat, and she gets, super sad. And if it makes you feel better, Doug gets super sad, too. He's like, don't do that.
Please don't.
And then Thursday nights, I am on Wandering DM's channel as a really interesting dwarf in our Dragon Age campaign. Which I believe is going to be on hiatus this week, but will return next week. Okay. I think that's it.
That's it. It's funny. I just closed out a Dragon Age campaign playing a dwarf.
Apparently, I was not supposed to ask the Iron Bull if he still got his eye behind the eye patch.
Definitely don't do that.
You almost got kicked out of a window.
I did. I almost got kicked. So the joke is, I've never played Dragon Age. So I'm just running with it, and I've got a very naive dwarf who keeps calling the ambassador Amontillado, as opposed to Montelier, who asked if Fenris was trying to compensate for something with his sword. And and who didn't know who Varric was. A dwarf who didn't know who Varric
You also
was.
named rations.
I what?
Named rations. The snack meal.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes,
gosh.
yes, the snack meal.
Who
Yeah,
could do a Fen next?
Yeah, everybody at that rate. I was about to say, I thought my dwarf was a troublemaker. She was just thick and thirsty. I didn't know that,
Ask Solace why he's talking to himself.
No idea. I had no idea.
It's yeah, the looks on Tanya's face as she let me dig the hole about Varric, because she said you can speak to Sir Tethras, and I knew who Varric was.
Right.
Like me. I just kind of knew he was a dwarf, but she said, you can speak to Sir Tethras. So of course my character goes, Sir who? And she was like, haha, I got you. I was like, crap.
Wow.
Well,
There's that. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
which, by the way, Shauna did the character portraits, and
Yeah.
holy crap, they're amazing.
Love it.
Oh, thanks.
Love it. Well, gang, I'm Little Red Dot. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, hit that follow button at the top. If you are sitting on one of those lovely free Amazon Prime subscriptions, we could use it over here at the Dot Lot. I mean, I guess we're a Dot cult now, so drink the Kool-Aid. Give us your subscriptions.
You're in a cult, call your dad.
And I want to say, over the next few weeks, arts organizations are taking a huge hit right now. Anybody that does live anything with gatherings of people is taking a huge hit right now. And I'm sure that we all know this. So if you have the means, go donate to an arts organization. If you are sitting on a ticket to a show that you've already purchased, don't ask for a refund. Just let them keep it. Or ask to be exchanged for when all this chaos passes so that you can still go support them. I am excited to announce that my theater that I work for, Dad's Garage Theater, has actually launched a Twitch channel as of Monday. We've been putting out content since Monday, so throughout the day, if you too have the cabin fevers and need a good laugh, come hang out with our improvisers. They're making all the shows. Today we had one called Animal House. That was just one of our improvisers. She set up like one of those cams on all of our animals, like just chilling out. We played 20 minutes of chill music and watched her pets. We had one of our improvisers and his daughter, who I think is like 8 or 9, do her name's River. River reviews it, where River takes he pulls something random from a bag and she reviews them. She's adorable, and I want her to review everything. Her review of Star Wars, best review. And today we also had, where was the other one? We had Quarantine Cooking with Meg, where Meg quarantine cooked with exactly what she had in her cabinet. So she made vegan Rice Krispie treats with like oatmeal and like Cheerios or something. They looked really tasty with like honey. It was really cool. She just like made something. So we've got all of these short little shows. They're hysterical. The improvisers are doing them. I'm running tech. So during the day, I'll be hanging out in the Dad's Garage chat if you want to come show some love. It's all part of a very large digital fundraiser we're trying to run leading up to a silent auction on the 25th. And then some kind of big live showing event via Twitch on the 27th and 28th. After that, I think we're probably going to keep the channel up because we got to close our doors for 8 weeks. So more content coming soon. What that is, I don't know. I've even heard that we may be having a hey Moondog, we're closing out, but thanks for joining us. We may even have a couple D&D games coming because all of our improvisers play in them, so we may be adding Dad's Garage D&D to the list as well. So more tabletop in my life. So I say all of that because I encourage you, one, to go support an arts organization of your choice, and if you don't have one, guess what? I've got one for you. Come support Dad's Garage, because we believe that even though we are all in quarantine and this is a tough time, laughter is a great medicine. And
support freelance artists.
And support those freelance artists. Part of what we're doing is actually keeping not only our doors open, but helping pay our improvisers who are not going to get to perform. So all the money that we raise over the next couple weeks is being split so that our improvisers can continue to get a paycheck. So go find an organization, go find an artist, anybody. And the real question doesn't need to be why, because we need it. Your community needs it. So go find somebody. Like tonight, thank you all who supported and donated these freelance artists that you see before you. Thank you so much. Every bit, tip, and donation you make, of course, goes back in so that we can continue to have shows like this and support artists like this. Awesome. That is all I have to say. I hope you all are well and in the comfort of your sterile homes, and we will see you all next week for the finale of HEIM. For the finale of HEIM. We will see how this little North Sea epilogue campaign is going to round up. Sometimes stories don't always have a perfect ending.
Well, that's ominous.
Mm-hmm.
Until next week,
Yikes.
everybody. We'll see you.